Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Carrow Road, and we're delighted to welcome Chris Hughton to Carrow Road as Norwich City's first football manager.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Chris, congratulations first of all. Chris Hughton, Norwich City manager, how does that sound?
It's a good sound and a good feeling. It's something that I've been very excited about, the prospect, and it's something that has materialised, of course, over the last couple of days. It's been done very speedily, which I'm absolutely delighted with, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge in front of me. And I know the club that I'm coming to. I've been here on many occasions. I have some history here in the time at Tottenham with players that came here and had good careers here. So there's always been that sort of relationship that I've been sort of in some way part of, and it's just good to be here to this challenge here.
Just a word on your old club, just put into words how difficult it was to leave Birmingham City.
Well, I don't think it would be wrong of me to say that, but it was difficult because I had a very good year there. The supporters have been excellent with me. It's a wonderful club. We had a very good staff and a good relationship, and in particular the administration staff, Julia Shelton, and more so in Peter Panner, who amongst difficult times at the club, I've had a very, very good relationship with them, and I'm very grateful for them giving me the opportunity to speak to Norwich. And as soon as that call came, it was something that's because of the standing that Norwich has, and the fact that it's a wonderful job in the Premier League. It was something that very much excited me too. But I shall forever be grateful to Birmingham for the period that I spent here.
You talk about the Premier League, given what happened at your time at Newcastle, was there a feeling of unfinished business in the Premier League as far as you're concerned?
No, not really, because I think you can only look back on what you perhaps achieved, and I think if you, in yourself, if you can look at yourself and feel that you've done the best job that you can and you've worked as hard as you can, it's part and parcel of the game. It's something that you have to move on from. I've got very fond and good memories of my time at Newcastle, and I've always preferred to look at it that way than in any other way. And I have had some messages this morning from Newcastle congratulating me on what they preempted was going to happen this afternoon, and I think we all move on, and that's the best way. Move forward, look for another challenge. And of course, that challenge took me to Birmingham, and that challenge now takes me here to Norwich.
You take over from Paul Lambert. Just how hard an act is Paul Lambert to follow at this club?
Well, I think it's been documented and already said a few times in the last few days by David, and the job that Paul has done here and the club have done here in the last 3 years, and it's a wonderful achievement to of course rise from the First Division through the Championship to the Premier League. And to somebody in management, it's a tough task, very much so. And, I think everybody appreciated the job that he has done here, and it's a hard act to follow, but it's about the challenge. It's about making progress. Of course, making sure that it's about stability in this division, making progress, and of course, with every new manager, a new player, comes a new challenge, and that's what I've got to look forward to.
You mentioned stability, but it was a 12th place finish last season for Norwich. What will the realistic aims for you be next season?
I think we, as opposed to talking about positions where you can finish, it is about the club moving forward, and with Paul as manager over the last 3 years, and of course the fine work that the club have done over that period of time, that has enabled this club to be where we are now. And it's about moving forward, it's about making progress, and that's not just about finishing position in the league. That's about the standing of the club, assuring status, not for one season, but for many seasons. Aspects of the club where we can feel it can grow, what development there is, what possibilities there are at the club, and I've been very impressed with the conversations that more so that I've had with David and the other clubbers at this moment, and how they want to move forward, and that's all part of a project, and as I say, I'm very delighted to be a big part of that.
Those conversations involve potential transfers and how much money you'll have to spend in the summer?
Yeah, well, we have had conversations. Of course, the bigger conversations will start once we get through today, because I have been in for a very short period of time, and there are other details that have had to be sorted out first. But there are conversations to say that we will have, how we can move forward, and we will be budget to work and bringing players in. But that's probably not the most important thing at this moment. There is a squad of players here that fared very well, not only the last season, over the last few seasons, and it's a question of getting to know them, get to know the quality of the players, to assess where we can strengthen, because this is a tough and demanding league, where we can strengthen and where we can make ourselves better as a team and as a squad. And they're decisions, of course, that I'll need to make over this period of time.
That squad of players, are you confident that squad of players will still include Grant Holt? A lot of speculation about his future at the moment.
Yes, and I can understand speculation, and of course I've listened to it from a little bit further than here. He's a quality player, there's no doubt about it. He's got the record he's got over the last few seasons, and of course to score the goals that he has done last season. Ultimately, I don't think there would be any manager coming in and sitting here that wouldn't want to keep a player of that quality. But I have only been through the door a few minutes. I haven't had an opportunity to speak with him, and of course that will be one of the priorities, along with, and it's not just about one player, it's about a squad of players, along with other members of the squad. But I do understand that it is a question that the media are very much after, but so I do need that opportunity to sit down and chat with him. But he's a player that's contracted to this football club. He's won the Player of the Year the last 3 seasons, so I'm very conscious of what he means to this club, and absolutely I would like him here.
Just confirm finally just the backroom staff, they're all coming with you from Birmingham, are they, Chris?
Yes, they are. It's, of course, Colin Calderwood, who was with me at Newcastle, Paul Trollope, who was with me at Birmingham, and I've worked very close with the both of them, and Ewan Chester, who was also with me at Birmingham. So I think we've managed to finalise them, and I'm absolutely delighted, because they are a good staff, and they'll certainly look to work as hard as what I will to achieve what we'd like to achieve here.
Chris, thanks very much. David, if I could move on to you. Just explain the process of your managerial search, and how many you interviewed if you can, and was Chris your first choice?
Well, when Paul resigned last week, I think it was last Thursday, and clearly there had been some debate with Paul about ambitions and where he wanted to be. We realised that we needed to look for a new manager. So clearly we looked at the market, and for us the market is the UK as well as the international market. And we did that quietly as a board, looking at the contenders and the candidates. And we had a really detailed period of reviewing who was available, who wasn't available, i.e. meaning at other clubs, and really wanting to try and find the person, the man that can take this club forward, because we are progressive. Chris joins us probably at one of the best times in the club's history financially, so we thought that we would be attractive to plenty of managers around the world. It was key for us that the manager needed to have top-level experience, preferably Premier League, but if not Premier League, then they needed to have managed in one of the big leagues around the world. That was a detailed part of the process, as I've said, and at the end of it, we looked at the names, and Chris stood out as the #1 candidate, clearly. We, as a board, recognised that unanimously, and Chris, having identified Chris, we approached Birmingham for permission to speak to Chris. We were pleased to find that Birmingham were very professional in their discussions with us, and there was some toing and froing, but we got there reasonably quickly. We were given permission to speak to Chris. Chris was the only person that we spoke to, the only candidate, no other interview. It was clear that having gone through the detail in the way that we had, he was the right man for us, and we were the right club for him, in our opinion. And so that was the process.
Do your hopes and expectations for next season go beyond just staying in the Premier League?
We want this football club to continue to progress on and off the pitch, and we through the efforts of Paul and many others, we've done very well over the last 3 years. So we want that to continue. We don't want to look back at all. It's about, for us, it's more about tomorrow and the next day and the next season. And we really want to take this great football club forward and to continue to improve in every aspect. Chris is right not to say that we target this position or that position. We just want to win as many football matches as we can and to continue to progress this football club in the right direction.
Chris says he can't comment too much on the Grant Hall situation, seeing as he's just been here for a short time. I wonder if you can elaborate a little bit. What is the latest with Grant? Are you confident he will be here to play for Chris next season?
Well, clearly there's a different view in terms of the future between the club and Grant. We want Grant to stay. He's our captain, top goal scorer for the last 3 years, 70 goals in 130 games, player of the year, 3 years in succession. That's never been done before. So we would like Grant Holt to stay. He's under contract for the next 2 years, so he's not for sale, and we're not encouraging anybody to make any offers for Grant. Where we end up is where we'll end up, but like Chris says, we've got 25 other senior squad players, and it's important for them all to have a chat to the new manager about the future.
Can I just finally ask you, just on the previous manager, the job that he'd done, evidently an excellent one, but the way it finished, are there regrets on either side about how it finished and the way he moved on? And what are the feelings from this club towards Paul Lambert now?
Paul Lambert's achievements here over the last 3 years are extraordinary, and quite rightly he'll go down in history as one of the best managers that this club's had, and we will be forever grateful for what Paul's produced for the club. In terms of how it ended, for me, that's football. That's all it is, and we knew at some point that it would come to an end, and we, I think as a board, we hope that we might work together for a while longer, but that's not to be. So no regrets, only praise and thanks to Paul for his efforts at this football club. He's been terrific for us. I would say, it doesn't matter, but Norwich City has been terrific for him, and so we wish him every success, apart from, of course, when he brings his team to play us. So we do wish him well, and we are, reassure every Norwich City fan out there, it's all about tomorrow and the next day. That's all we're concerned with.
Chris, John Park, BBC Look East. Maintaining Norwich's status as a Premier League club, is that going to be your toughest assignment as a manager today?
No, I think in all walks of management, I think whichever level or whichever club you're at, it's a tough job, and it's about what you're prepared to put into the job. The club have got itself, through good management, team management and club management, into a good position in this Premier League, and it's my responsibility to sustain it, to do the best job that I can. But the game is full of surprises, and until that season starts, until you're a quarter way through that season, until you're halfway through that season, you don't know what you can achieve. And that will be based, of course, on hard work and what you're able to get out of a team of players. So I don't know regards how difficult the job will be, because that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm here, having been given a challenge. It's a challenge I'm looking for.
For anybody who doesn't know your style, your philosophy on football, can you explain it to us? How do you like to play the game?
Well, it would be nice to say I'd like to try and win football matches and try not to lose them, but that's an easy one for anybody to say. I've been very much brought up in my footballing years and in my coaching years as enjoying a good passing game, but also what I have learnt over the years is that you've got to be able to adapt in this game. You've got to be able to work formations, and ultimately it's about winning games. You can only win games by scoring goals. So there's been a wonderful philosophy at this football club over the last few years of good attacking football, and I think it's wonderful for the supporters to see. But ultimately it's about winning football matches. And if you can win that playing it in a good, passing, entertaining way, then I think there's nothing better for a supporter to see.
David, could I just ask the contract details, how long Chris has signed for?
It's a 3-year contract.
And Chris, the players will be off still for a while. For you, is it straight down to work?
Yes, it is. We was hoping to get, and this all happened, of course, very quickly. So there is a lot of work to do regarding the players and an opportunity to speak to as many players that I can, go through as much of last season as I can, the games. Players I would know anyway. But yes, it's about getting down to work as quick as I can. We were back, of course, in a pre-season period where most of the hard work starts, and we'll set the team up, of course, for the start of the season. But yes, it's straight to work, and it is a wonderful challenge for me. I say particularly when there's a group of players that you know but you don't know so well. It's about getting the best out of the squad that we've got, the additions that we can make to the squad. So yes, there's a lot of work, and I'm very much ready to get down to that as soon as I can.
David, can I ask you about compensation to Birmingham? How much was involved?
Well, that will be a matter that remains between Birmingham City and ourselves, and there was some toing and froing. It took us a little while to get there, but get there we did, and the conversations were always constructive and professional. So we thank Birmingham City for their modus operandi throughout the whole throughout this week, really.
And Ian Carlhouse and Gary Carson, do you know their future?
Well, they're very much a part of the team. We have been encouraging Paul for some time to expand his coaching staff at Carrow Road, and this is an ideal opportunity to do that. So Ian and Gary, their roles are exactly as they were. The responsibilities are exactly as they were. They'll just be joining be joined by a bigger team.